As many college students do, I practically live off fast food and pizza delivery during my years as an undergraduate. I went to school in my hometown, so luckily enough for me, I didn't have to live on campus and suffer through the cafeteria on a daily basis. But nonetheless, my eating habits usually involved a lot of things fried in grease and covered in cheese. Of course, back in my early 20s, I had the metabolism to handle it. Now in my late 30s, I have sworn off fast food forever. Yet before you praise me for my healthy lifestyle, please understand, I don't do it for my health. I lived in a small apartment back in those days, a typical student dwelling, adorned with a garage sale furniture and movie posters. It was a humble place, but it was inexpensive, so I didn't have to get a roommate and in a great part of the town surrounded by shopping and restaurants. Since my apartment was on the bottom floor, it wasn't uncommon for me to come home with from time to time with advertisements taped on my door or hung on my doorknob. Local business I would often find coupons and takeout menus, and by now I have examined quite a collection. I was familiar with just about every restaurant in my neighborhood. I knew which ones delivered and which ones didn't. I knew which ones stayed open late and which ones were fast or slow or overpriced. I guess you could say I ordered out far too often. One night, as I was studying for an exam in the late hours of the night, my stomach began that all too familiar rumbling that had so many times before disrupted my ability to concentrate. As usual, I had been so wrapped up in preparing for the finals that I had forgotten to eat dinner, and as usual, I would resort to some late night delivery. It was approaching midnight, so I knew a lot of my regular places would be closed by now. Especially being a weekend, I shuffled through the collection of takeout menus in the kitchen drawer, trying to decide who to call. One places that delivered this late were pizza joints. And I wasn't in the mood for pizza, not again. I was about to give up and just dial the nearest pizza place when I came upon an advertisement I hadn't seen before, or at least I didn't remember having seen it before. It was a square piece of glossy paper, and it looked as if it had been torn from a magazine or one of those inserts they put in the newspaper. Strangely, I didn't remember having torn this out, but then again, I had been in the fog of constant studying for nearly 2 weeks, so perhaps I had saved this and had forgotten about it. The ad featured a cartoonish clown mascot holding balloons. Beside him was a comic-style speech bubble with words, Carnival Burgers, now open until 3:30 a.m. We deliver. Beneath the speech bubble was a telephone number. I had never heard of the Carnival Burgers before. Was it a new place? I had a reservation about ordering a burger by delivery, but I thought, why not? I mean, how bad do you have to be to mess up a burger? I dialed the number. It rang only once before the voice picked up on the other end. Thank you for calling Carnival Burgers. Would you like to try our special house burger? The voice sounded almost electronic, like it was pre-recorded. No thanks, I said. I'd like to place an order for delivery. Excellent. I would be happy to take your order, sir. The electronic voice replied in a far too upbeat manner. What would you like? I'll take a hamburger with cheese, pickles, lettuce, onions, and tomatoes. A side of fries. Would you like mustard, mayonnaise, or a special house sauce? Mustard, please. Excellent. Your order will be arrived shortly. Thank you for calling Carnival Burgers. The line then disconnected. I figured the person on the other end must have accidentally hung up. Hadn't given them my address or payment information, and the voice hadn't given me my total. I dialed the number again to complete the order. This time it just kept ringing. I let it ring for what felt like a solid 5 minutes. When no one answered, I hung up and dialed again. The same thing happened. The phone just kept ringing. I thought maybe they were busy, which would have been odd being so late in the middle of the week. But maybe the burgers were just that good, and maybe I had gotten lucky through the first time. Doubtful, I tried one more time. Finally, after the third line picked up, the same electronic voice spoke. But this time it sounded slower and deeper, like the recording had been slowed down. Thank you for calling Carnival Burgers. Would you like the place? Would you like to try our special house burger? No thanks. I accidentally called a little while ago. The line was disconnected. I never gave you my address? No worries, Jake. The slow, electronic voice replied. Your order is on its way. Click. I never gave them my name. I was suddenly hit with a wave of confusion, with uneasiness. My logical brain began to weave a scenario in which they know my name without me had given it to them. Maybe I had ordered from this place before, I just didn't remember. Maybe they had some sort of number recognition software on their phone system, so the repeat customers would be displayed on a database or a caller ID of some sort. Maybe that's also why they didn't ask for my address. Perhaps it was already on file from the previous order, or maybe I did give them my name and I was just mistaken not thinking about it. I just wasn't mistaken thinking about it. I didn't as much as I wanted the explanation to make sense. I knew I hadn't never ordered from them before. I can be absent-minded at times and forgetful, but not that forgetful. I had never heard of the restaurant before, but I did have the ad in the drawer. I decided the most logical answer is the best one, and surely must have ordered from them before. Despite having talking to myself into this conclusion, I still felt uneasy. As I waited for the knock on the door, I couldn't focus on my stunning. I turned on the television to break the suddenly overwhelming silence of the apartment. I flipped through the channels. Being a broke college student, I couldn't afford cable, so late-night TV choices consisted of infomercials, religious programming, and talk show reruns. I settled on some trash show where the host was telling people who wasn't the father. When the TV signal was cut and the static commercial popped up on the screen, it was a snowy and sound quality was poor. A clown like the one in the print ad dancing around the small building with sign reading, Carnival Burgers. The same electronic, overly peppy voice spoke. Come to Carnival Burgers, where the fun never stops. Now offering delivery. A flicker flashed on the bottom of the screen. The static dissipated and the screen returned to normal. I turned off the TV. Just as the TV clicked off, there was a knock at my door. I hesitantly approached. I peeked through the peephole to see a clown. Balloons in one hand and a paper bag in my hand. Printing on it, I gulped. I took a deep breath and opened the door. The clown smiled and said, "That will be $8.66, please." It was the same electronic voice from the phone. I pulled a $10 bill out of my back pocket and handed it to him. "Keep the change," I said, trying to mask my nervousness. Thank you. Enjoy your order, and please call us again next time. Try our special house burger." The house handed me the paper bag. I took the bag and thanked him. He stood there uncomfortably long time, and there was an awkward period of silence as he just stared at me. Before I slowly closed the door, I thought that maybe I should have asked him how he knew my name and address, but I let it go. I waited a moment, and then I looked at my people. He was gone. I had been so hungry earlier, but now I hardly wanted to eat. I opened the bag but found nothing unusual inside. It was just my order: hamburger with cheese, pickles, lettuce, onions, tomato, mustard with sides of fries. It was warm and smelled good. I felt uneasiness diminish, and my hunger returned. I ate the burger and fries, and it was actually quite decent. It wasn't the best burger I ever had, but certainly not terrible. After eating, I studied a little before crashing about 2 a.m. A few days later, it was the weekend, and I was driving home to my parents' house to spend the weekend with them. A couple of days of my mom home-cooked meals, and my old comfy bed was just the thing I needed before finals week. They lived in town, so it wasn't a long drive, and I liked to visit them when I could. As I was driving, I came across some road construction. I followed the detour signs to an off-road that was unfamiliar with. I was aggravated, but As I said, it was a relatively short drive, so a small detour wouldn't make much difference. The detour guided me into the old residential neighborhood. There were many businesses, just all houses, a small park, and then there it was on the corner of the intersection. The building I had seen in television ad, Carnival Burgers. I pulled in the parking lot and stopped. It was turned on the same building, but unlike the one in the ad, it was old and run down. The paint sign was faded and covered in dirt. Some of the windows had been broken out and replaced with boards. It looked as if it had been abandoned for years. I got out of my car and peered through one of the windows. Inside were booths and tables, blanketed with dust. There were cracks in the walls and cobwebs draping the small amount of furniture still left inside. In one corner of the plastic statue was a smiling clown holding a chalkboard menu with now barely legible words. Ask about the special house burger. I felt weak in the knees and pain in my chest. It couldn't be the same place. Once again, my logical mind began to rationalize the situation. This was obviously just an old abandoned location. The restaurant was moved and reopened somewhere else. There was no now located at blank sign, but that had to be it. I got back in my car and continued to my parents' house. Later that night at dinner, I asked my mom if she had ever heard of Carnival Burgers. My parents had lived their entire lives in the same town, so if anyone would know about it, they would. When I asked her, she told me, "Oh yeah, the old burger joint. It was shut down a long time ago. They said it for sanitation reasons. It was actually kind of a big deal when we were kids. We all loved going there. Sure, it was kind of McDonald's knockoff, but it was fun. They had this clown that would give out balloons. What was his name?" My father cut in. "Just Jiro, because of all that creepy, weird voice of his. Some sort of electronic voice box thought it was creepy. I thought it was creepy. I thought he was funny. I was sad when they closed down," my mother said. My father continued. "They said it was for unclear cleanliness, but the rumors are that it shut down because of the disappearance." He looked over at the glasses and spoke in a melodramatic tone for effect. "Oh, those were just stories the older kids told us to scare us." "What stories?" I asked. My father replied, "They said a lot of people in the neighborhood started going missing, and the only thing the cops could find that had in common that each one had ordered delivered from Carnival Burgers on the day they disappeared. Even weirder was they all ordered the same thing, the special house burger." I decided not to tell my parents about the experience. I had never eaten fast food. I decided not to tell my parents about my experience. I have never eaten fast food since. That is the end of this creepypasta. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, so peace.